Hey guys, it's the Plum Dot here and welcome back to my channel for another video, and today's video is a celebration because it is my 1 year anniversary here on YouTube and I am so excited. So what I wanted to do for my 1 year anniversary is something that I've been planning to do for quite some time, even way before I started my channel. So you guys are probably wondering, why in the world are we here staring at the Sims 3 exchange? The exchange is dead, nobody uses it anymore, but let me tell you a little something something. Back in the day, the Sims 3 exchange was where it was at. You could find almost anything from any creator to put into your game, whether it was a community lot, a residential lot, new patterns, new Sims. It was off the hook. So like I said, before I started my YouTube channel, I was always writing down ideas. And if I go to the entry in my little Sims notebook here for Thursday, the 9th of February, 2017, I actually wrote down download old houses from the exchange for the What Was I Thinking series. So I thought it was about high time to get this series started, and what better time to do it than my 1 year anniversary on YouTube. I know that a lot of people for their 1 year anniversary like to make over the very first sim they uploaded or renovate the first house they uploaded to the exchange, or not the exchange, to YouTube. But because I had been building and playing The Sims for almost 8 years by the time I started my channel, I thought I would take it back way further than that and start with some of the very first houses that I uploaded to the exchange. So if we just shimmy on down here, we are here on my page on the Sims 3 exchange in my studio. I actually uploaded this house on July 9th, 2012. So we are going back almost 6 years to see how much my build and design style has changed since then. So this is the Bohemian Beach Bungalow, and it says, want easy access to the beach or feel like cliff diving today? Then this little Bohemian inspired bungalow is the perfect starter for a sim on a budget. With a walkout basement bedroom and a funky color scheme, your sim will be the envy of all of their friends. Okay, that is the dumbest description ever. And can we just talk about this for a second? It says bungalow. I don't know very many multi-storied bungalows, so this is already a huge nope from me. And do you see this? This is water. Why in the halibut would I build a walkout basement bedroom this close to the water? I have no idea what I was thinking. So I thought it would be fun to have a little bit of a roast session at my expense while I renovate one of the very first homes that I uploaded to the exchange. Because a lot of people, when I do put builds out on my channel, say, how did you do that? This looks so good. I wish I was as good of a builder as you. And honestly, it just takes practice. I think I've come a long way since I first uploaded this, but back in the day, let me tell you, I thought I was the dog's bollocks. I thought I was the best thing since sliced bread. I was top dog. I was using advanced techniques that I had learned on YouTube from the Sim Supply and the Tides Changing, and I was implementing them into my homes, and I just thought I was hot shit. Looking back now, I definitely wasn't. So all I really have to say is that I'm really sorry to the 157 people that downloaded this lot, because it is quite bad. So I wanted to go back to the exact spot where I built the Bohemian Beach Bungalow. So I did some investigating, and this is actually a lot that I placed, a 25 by 25 lot that I placed in Starlight Shores. So we're going to be placing this house exactly where I placed it before, and I'm going to show it some plum love. But before we get into that, I just want to pop over here and say thank you so much. In my 1 year on YouTube, I have got 1,404 subscribers. And honestly, you guys, I know that's not a massive number, but I never thought that I would get this far. So I appreciate each and every one of you so much, and I love you to the moon and back. And You know, you guys make my plum little heart so very warm. So before I get super soppy with this, let's jump into the game. Let's look at the disaster. Let's have a little roast session at my expense. And let's kick off this What the Plum, What Was I Thinking series. And let's renovate the Bohemian Beach Bungalow. Oh my god. Now I am super sorry to the 157 people that have downloaded the Bohemian Beach Bungalow almost 6 years ago. Because I placed it on the exact same lot that I had it when I originally built it. And this is what happened. It sunk. This is why you don't have a house this close to the water with a walkout basement. I'm just going to say that it flooded. This is flipping terrible. But you can see we're on the exact same spot where I originally built the Bohemian Beach Bungalow. And let's just have a little walkthrough here. So you can see that we've got a window here that's kind of misplaced. And here's our little walkout basement. Oh, this is awful. So let's go down a couple of pages and let's have a look at the inside. What is this interior? Let's turn the grid off. Oh my god, you guys. I obviously haven't visited this since I built it and uploaded it to the exchange. But look at it. Why would I have two different floorings in the same house this close to each other? And what are these bright ass counters? Oh my god, this is terrible. And what is this pattern? Is that like bamboo? Did I put bamboo on the flippin' walls? And I'm pretty sure this is leather. So I've got bamboo here in the kitchen and then leather. And then are these railings two different colors? Holy shit, this is really bad. This is really bad. Oh, it's 2 bedrooms. That's not too shabby that it's 2 bedrooms, but the brightness is killing my eyes. Whoa. I've got a pink light in a purple bedroom with this hideous pattern here. And I can't deal with this. I cannot deal with this. Look at all of these different lights that I've got going on. Look at this bright green color. I would never do that these days. Ever. Oh my flipping heck. This is gonna be like a flipping gut job. This is gonna be a bulldoze job. And I'm pretty sure, is that the default color swatch? Okay, it's not. I did change it. Because nowadays, there's usually not anything in my houses that I don't change the colors to. But let's go look at this walkout basement that I was boasting about. That was the cause of the flood. Oh my god. Okay, I've got plants poking through, and that is a big no-no for me. I would never have plants poking through my houses. And then, oh my god, look at all of this, like, dead space and these colors that don't match. What was I thinking? What, you guys, what the actual plum? What the actual plum? This is going to take a lot of work to make this look good. And I mean, look at this backyard. That's not much of a backyard. And there's literally like no landscaping whatsoever. We've got all of this dead space. You can see my hatred for landscaping went all the way back to the beginning because it's very minimal here. And where's is there a table? Okay, there is a table under there, but this just won't flipping do. This is so bad. Oh my god. This is so embarrassing. I am so sorry to the people that downloaded this. If you are watching this, I promise I will fix it. But you know what I would like to see? I would like if anybody builds in The Sims 3, I would like you guys to give this a little renovation because I would like to see what you guys would do with this. But I'm going to stop rambling and I'm going to fix my mistakes because this is a massive, massive mistake. So let's get into it. How are you supposed to get down there? Let's get into this renovation to celebrate my 1 year here on YouTube with this What the Plum series. What was I thinking, you guys? What the plum was I thinking? Let's go. So the first thing I had to do after deleting all the doors, walls, everything that was in the house was figure out how in the world was I going to get the Bohemian Beach bungalow out of this sinkhole. So I had to use some jiggery pokery, some constrained floor elevation false cheat to get it up to the level of the street. And then I decided to raise it a little bit more. Now the main shape of the house stays the same, but I wasn't kidding when I said that this needed to be a complete and utter gut job because really it was just awful and it was kind of boring. And the sad thing about that whole thing is that I actually built the Bohemian Beach bungalow off of a floor plan. But I kind of wanted to push myself, and as I was doing this I just kept adding more and more and more to it. So the shape of it, the main shape of it stays the same, but the house in all actuality is completely different and you probably won't be able to recognize it. So this probably really couldn't be counted as a renovation. And yeah, we're just gonna go with my original idea of it being a complete gut job, but I really love how it turned out. And probably for the first time in history, I don't have a name for this as of yet. I'm sure I'll figure it out. I'm sure it'll be the something because I'm original. But yeah, I just think it's really lovely. And I was looking around before I started building because, like I said in the beginning of this video, I really wanted to build on the exact same lot that I had originally built the Bohemian Beach bungalow. So I was looking around Sunlight Tides. I was looking around Starlight Shores to kind of see what the style of houses were, and they're more like California. Oh, I don't even know what that architecture is called. I can't even think of it off the top of my head. But they're not super beachy. They're more like Spanish houses is what I would say that the architecture in Starlight Shores is. So I completely threw that out the window. So I think that this house would probably be more suited to Isla Paradiso or Sunlit Tides because it is very, very beachy. But it doesn't look bad in this world. It just sort of doesn't fit in with the surrounding houses. So here I am working on the roof, and let me tell you guys, I struggled like mad with this roof. What is new? I always struggle with roofs because along with landscaping, roofing is not my strong point, and I probably built and rebuilt this house probably 10 to 12 times. In fact, I built and rebuilt this entire house for days. It took me quite some time because at one point I had a massive issue with one of the fences, and I'm going to tell you about it now before we even get to the fences. But you'll see that I put down the fencing and then I put a gate in. Well, I had move objects on at one point and I moved the gate and put it down. So then when I went to move the gate back to the fence, it left these black posts and I could not get rid of them to save my life. I had no idea what I was doing and they just wouldn't go away. And I had completely finished the entire exterior of the home, including the landscaping. Couldn't figure out how to get these black posts to go away, so I had to completely start over, and I was not happy about it whatsoever. So if anybody has ever had that happen to them and they've successfully gotten rid of those black posts, let me know, because that would save me a lot of heartache in the future. Or I could just not be a dum-dum and move things when I have move objects on and I don't need it on. I think that's the lesson that I learned here. So I'm just going through and I'm putting on the exterior painting, and it is pretty much complete. I have to go back momentarily to finish up some of the edging. But we'll get there. So I stuck with the yellow color, but I didn't go for that really horrendous, like in your face, bright yellow that you can see on the trash can that's still a remnant of the Bohemian Beach bungalow. I went for something a little bit softer. So you've got sort of the yellow siding, and then on the bottom, I went for sort of a corrugated wallpaper, and then the very tops are all cedar siding. And I usually don't I usually don't combine 3 different wallpapers, but I think it works in this case. And then you just saw me do a sloped driveway. I don't think I've ever done sort of a sloped up driveway, but I thought it would be perfect to have kind of a car park space directly under the house, and it just looks really, really good. I'm really happy with how this turned out. So you can see that this is completely different from the Bohemian Beach bungalow, but how much better does it look, guys? I think it looks 110 times better, if I do say so myself. And I'm not just saying that because I built it. Let's be honest, the Bohemian Beach bungalow was a flipping disaster. So I'm going through and putting on the edging details for the yellow siding, and I think it gives it an extra sort of something. It makes it look a lot better than it did without having the siding. So I put that all around the exterior of the house, and we're basically done with the exterior, and I'm gonna be moving on to landscaping. I'm just doing some edge smoothing, and you can see where my brush is at the moment. I'm just really proud of the fact that that I've not kept the brushes in the middle of the little scale thing. It just looks so much better when you do a softer touch when you're smoothing out the terrain. So there's the under the house it's not a garage, under the house driveway that goes up, and I just think it suits the house very well. So here I go with the landscaping. I'm doing a lot of rockery. I've got to have my rocks in there, and you know what? I didn't use my buckhorns. I just didn't think the buckhorns would work really well with this house, especially if you're gonna put it in like Sunlight Tides or Isla Paradiso, and that's why I used the flowers that came from Island Paradise, because I just think it would suit that type of world better than it would Starlight Shores. But I know there's houses on the beach in Starlight Shores, but this isn't one of them. I mean, you've got a good view of the water, but you're pretty far away from the beaches. So yeah, I just don't think this particular house suits it, but that doesn't mean I don't like this house. I do like this house. So I didn't go kind of crazy with the landscaping. I kept it sort of subtle, and that is pretty much all of the landscaping done. We're gonna do a little bit more in a bit, but we're not gonna go too crazy. So I've put in this little fire pit here down. I've sunk it down a little bit, but it is at sort of street level, so there's not going to be any sinkholes anymore, hopefully. And then I've put in a barbecue, and I've also put in a picnic table, some loungers, and then you've got the hot tub under there. And I'm just going through and doing the terrain paint. Now I couldn't figure out what type of terrain paint I wanted. You could see I started with the asphalt, and then I went to the pavers, and now I'm working on sand, and then I'm gonna go back to some pavers in a minute, because I thought because we're so far away from the beach that it didn't make sense to have sand, but maybe it would have done if you're going to move this house to Isla Paradiso. I don't know what I'm talking about. Anyway, that's the pavers that I go for. And you can see you've kind of got the remnants of the sand on the edging anyway. And you can still see it even though I've placed some dirt. And then I'm going to put some sand down here around the fire pit and then outline it with the pavers. And I just think that's a nice little touch that I've done there. So we're just going to go back to a little bit more landscaping, put in a tree there, and then I'm going to do sort of a rock. It's not a retaining wall, but just sort of to like close this off from the front. And then I'm going to put in some banana leaf plants, some ferns, and then some of those flowers that came with Island Paradise. And I just think it looks really, really nice. It's very simple. Like I said, I didn't go crazy with the landscaping here because I don't think the house warranted it. I just didn't think it was needed. Kind of the house speaks for itself. So you've got the landscaping in the front, to the side, and there's not really in the back. So this little area that you're seeing here that's fenced off, I decided to put in the outdoor shower that came from the store. And then I was trying to figure out where to put sort of these windsurfers. And I eventually put them I think I eventually put them in this little area that you're looking at right here. I can't remember. So I put in these surfboards on the outside, and then I end up moving them because I figured you've got to have a door to get into this downstairs bit. And so my thinking for this entire sort of build was that I wanted the downstairs to be sort of a self-contained apartment. So it's kind of a studio apartment, and it's got a little kitchenette in it. It's got its own bathroom, and there's some things to do for entertainment. You guys are probably wondering, how in the heck did you fit all that in there? Because I'm a genius. No, I was struggling to figure out how I was going to fit everything in here as well. I was like, I don't know if I can do this, but I made it work. And so the bathroom's going to go in that little corner after I struggle a little bit with it. But what is new, I struggle with everything all the time. It shouldn't come as a shock, but that looks really funny. And it was just a massive wall that didn't need to be that big. So I end up reshaping the bathroom, and it is the most awkward shape ever. Like, it's really weird, but it works. It does work. So I've just put in the shower. I finished with the bathroom, and then I'm going to put in the little kitchenette. So I've put in the university fridge, and I've also put in a microwave. You're going to see me throw down in a minute. There's a TV for some entertainment, and then I put in some bookshelves there, which I end up changing in a little bit. You guys will see that. And then I put in this dining table that I sort of moved into the counters. And that is basically this downstairs studio apartment. I'm just going to change the bookshelves, put in some plants, and then put in a microwave in a few seconds after I put a chair in the corner, because you've got to have somewhere to read. And that is basically the downstairs. Now, you guys are probably looking at this going, God, this is ugly. Nothing matches. Well, I didn't recolor anything on camera, not the walls, nothing, because I thought this video is already going to be quite long. So you guys are going to be surprised once you get to the screenshot. So I hope you don't mind that. So I decided to add another little bit on the upstairs for the sort of, it's not really the master, because like I said, I want these to be played as like two different apartments, kind of like a house in an ohana, even though I don't believe ohanas are attached to houses. They're usually on the same property, but they're not attached. But anyway, that is by the by. I am rambling now. And so we've got the bedroom there, the bathroom to the right, and something that I realized when I was going to furnish the upstairs is that I have 4 different decks, and which means there are doors. So I had a really hard time laying everything out, and it was a little bit of a struggle. I'm not gonna lie, because I was like, where am I going to put things? But in the end, it really worked out. I love how this looks, and I'm really, really happy with I was going to say my renovation, but I guess we'll call it my gut job of the Bohemian Beach bungalow. It looks 10 times better, and I truly think that I've come quite a long way in the way that I build, in the way that I decorate. Trust me, when you get to the screenshots, you're not going to see any lime green walls. There's not going to be any leather on the wall or any bamboo. Who puts leather on their walls? Like, that is the dumbest thing that I could have done. So here's a little funny bit. It's not funny because I was like cursing at myself while I was doing this. I am going to struggle like a mofo with this little build set that I downloaded from the Sims resource, and I believe it's by Angela. I couldn't figure out how to get it to work. I usually don't download CC where I have to put it together. And like you can see, I was playing with some hinges, but things aren't snapping into place. And usually I don't touch anything like that because it just frustrates me to no end. But we get there in the end. I don't end up going with this accordion style door, even though it looks cool. I just didn't really have the space to do it. So I end up just going with some sliding French doors. And I believe that your Sims should still be able to get out to the deck. But the only thing at the moment that's out there is the little hanging chair that came with the Bohemian set from the store. So if they can't get out there, it's not that big of a deal. So I haven't play tested this as of yet. just because I haven't gotten around to playtesting this house, but I will. And as soon as I playtest the house, I will put it up for download because I really want you guys to enjoy it. But then I also I'm gonna put a link to the original Bohemian Beach bungalow, and if anybody wants to like do their own renovation, I would love to see what you guys do with it, because God, I mean, anything that anybody does to it would be better than the original, because it was a disaster. Let's be honest. It was just atrocious. Like, horrible, and embarrassing. I can't believe I put that out. So I'm just finished with the kitchen and the dining room. I'm just putting down a sort of china hutch, and then I'm going to throw a chair in the corner along with the plant, and then we're going to move on to the living room and then the bedroom. And you're going to see once we get to the screenshots that the living room that you're looking at in this speed build part is completely different from the screenshots, because I didn't think that what I had there originally was particularly beachy. So I decided to completely change up the sort of front room area. So I hope you guys like what you see when you get to the screenshots. But there's only about 3 minutes left before we get to the screenshots. So I think I'm going to love you and leave you guys with some music. But if you enjoyed this speed renovation gut job speed build of the Bohemian Beach bungalow, make sure to give it a thumbs up. Leave me a comment down below. Let me know what you guys think. And again, thank you guys so very much for 1 year on YouTube, and cheers to many more. Don't be a plum stranger now, guys.